Come on. It's the first session of the day. How are we all going? I'm going to ask that again. How are we all going? That's what I like to hear. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to Auntie Annette for the beautiful, honest, and funny welcome to the country. I'd like to also begin first by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Wurundjeri Woi people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and future, and extend this to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders here in the audience today. And I hope for all of us, as we come here with each other and look towards the future, that this reminds us that every day we live, work, and dream on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander lands. Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to Product Outlook 2025, and in fact, the first ever Product Outlook event. Can I just say what an incredible day to be part of? What began as a mission to celebrate, support, and grow the design community has wonderfully grown into this unified conference of both design and product. Before I forget, can I also extend a warm, or should I say cold, Melbourne welcome to those that have traveled from afar to join us here today. And it's just one of the many things I love about events like this, that we can all come together from around the world and share in our passion and love for a field. So, by way of introduction, my name is Jeddi, and I have the amazing honor and privilege to be your host for what is already an exciting and no doubt will be a fun and thought-provoking day. This event, of course, would not be possible without the mammoth contributions and support from many people and organizations. And look, if I attempted to fit all of this into the short slot that I've been given, I would have to put into a bit of a rap. I ain't no rapper. So I'll be sharing my uttermost thanks throughout the day. So to name a few, to our principal partners, Figma, ANZ, Optimal Workshop, and Miro, we thank you for another year of partnering with the Outlook, and we would not be here without your generosity and support. Can you please join me in thanking them? So, a bit about me. Who's this guy standing on the stage before you, and how did I get here? Well, firstly, I've just recently celebrated my 1-year wedding anniversary. In fact, my beautiful wife is actually in the audience. Whether that's willingly or reluctantly, you'll have to ask her. But what I do know is that she's left her design peers actually next door to support me, so I just want to give her thanks. We have the cutest 16-month-old corgi, who's all bark and no bite. So if you see fluff or celery bits on me, I promise it's from her and it's not me. And as someone who was born and raised in Melbourne, it feels almost criminal to admit that I do not love coffee. But I love making it, so hopefully that's enough. When I was told about this opportunity to MC for Product Outlook, I was told they were looking for someone early in their product career to share their view on their experience and perspective of the product world, because the future of product lies in our hands. And I remember thinking, gosh, me? Sharing my view, being part of shaping the future of product? The guy who cried on his first day on the job? They don't know that, but I guess there's no going back now. So now you know why I'm here. But I want to throw the question to you. Aside from my wife, why are the rest of the 249 and supposedly more standing at the back? Why did you specifically decide to click that register button to be at this Product Outlook event? Or why did you push so hard to get your work to give you this time here? And I have a couple of guesses. You're here because you want to grow. You're here because you want to hear the latest product trends or issues within the industry to ensure you're up to date. Or maybe you connected with the themes advertised on the program overview and are dying to hear today's speakers, which might I add is an incredible lineup. Or maybe you just need a little product pick-me-up. You've been facing challenges in your current role, team, organization. And maybe it's to do with the initiative, strategy, all of these things that we've heard before, execution, culture, and you just need some ideas to drive change. Or maybe you're here simply figuring out this thing called product. And I'll give you a moment just to ponder on this, as I think this is important for each and every one of us as we go about today. Why are you here? You see, the theme for this year's Product Outlook is exploring the evolution of product in Australia. And as I was preparing, I asked myself, how does change or evolution happen? And what I've since formed is that evolution or change doesn't happen unless someone or a group of people like yourselves are brave enough to share their opinion, thought, intuition, gut feel, however you want to call it. And the reality is, all of us here play a role in shaping the future of product. That's why we're here. I actually started my product management career straight out of a grad program in Telstra, and for the last 3 years, got to play a part in connecting businesses to the internet. Whether that was for their employees, students, or their customers. And it was awesome to realize that I get to be part of something that keeps students online, allows people to work from a nearby cafe, or enables relationships with other parts of the world. But man, did I feel like I bit off more than I could chew. I had zero product management experience, I had no background in networks or engineering, and there I was expected to be the expert. All I knew was that 50 meg download on speed test at home was good. Anything less, and we've got an issue. But where I'm getting at is this. Maybe you, like me, feel time and time again that sometimes we're not qualified, or we're not experienced enough to lead change, or I haven't been in my business long enough. And I know this because at least more than 70% of the people in the world feel this, a form of imposter syndrome. Imagine just over 2/3 of us in this room, and maybe even more, right now feeling that I shouldn't be in this position. I don't deserve a seat at the table. My opinions are not worth sharing. That other person, manager, exec, they've got the experience and the years. They're the opinions worth hearing. So, another question to you is, how does an industry like product evolve if we're hesitant or afraid to share our opinions? The answer? It doesn't. It can't. But what if I told you opinions aren't earned, they're formed? That you don't need years of experience or a senior title to share your opinions. So you see, before I started my professional career, I worked in hospitality for 7 years. That's where my love for product and customer experience started. From working in a cafe, flipping burgers, to making sandwiches, there was nothing better than creating something in front of a customer and watching their face light up. Hopefully. And yes, we're still at the Product Outlook event. Don't worry, you're not at the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival. I'm sure many of you have felt the same. The feeling when you see someone use and react to the product in the real world. It's rewarding. But you know that question we all love to ask in product interviews? What's your favorite product? Mine, without a doubt, has to be food. But if you think about it, food has got to be the most complex product out there. You need to cater to everyone's different taste buds. You got children being picky, you got adults counting calories, dietary requirements, seasonality of ingredients, and people comparing it to their mum's cooking. Yet, funnily enough, food has to be one of those things that I feel most confident in sharing my opinions on. And I have no doubt it's the same for some of you. I'll go somewhere to eat, try a dish I love, next family gathering, I'll tell everyone about it. I'll be like, you have to try this dish. And never have I once ever felt unqualified to share my opinions. And it's not because of my 7 years of hospitality experience. I mean, some of us have probably been eating food for decades here. And it's definitely not because I have a title. But it's because it's something I love, care enough about, and am passionate enough about to tell others. Unafraid if someone tells me that they don't like that restaurant or dish. And I feel like as product managers, we should feel the same way. We need to form ambitious visions, back it with passion, and rally people to join us on the journey. And naturally, not everyone will agree along the way. And that's okay. And sure, you could argue that there's the absence of cost or risk, but what I'm trying to paint here is that there will forever be a need for our opinions. The industry can't thrive without it, and this is my challenge to you all here today. To make this easier to digest, pun intended, let me use an analogy of a good old sandwich which represents our opinions. Has anyone here had Subway? Raise your hands. Yeah, okay, I see some nods, that's good. Funnily enough, despite me working there for 3 years, my wife will forever refuse to step into a Subway and order. Why? Because if you ever walked into a Subway, you know the overwhelming feeling you get when you're spoilt for choice. And let me break the experience down for you. Hi, how are you going? What bread can I get for you? Would you like it 6-inch, foot long? Would you like, wholemeal? Would you like white, Italian cheese and herbs? So there's like 5 options. And you get a salad bowl or a wrap. What meat filling would you like? And there's like 10. What cheese would you like? There's another 4. Would you like it toasted? What veg would you like? There's like 10. And can't forget, would you like avocado for another like $10? And what sauce would you like? Again, there's like 10. And would you like salt and pepper? And I bet if I put 10 people in this audience in the queue, 10 completely different sandwiches will come out the other end. And it doesn't necessarily mean that one sandwich is better than the other, does it? They'd all be delicious in their own right. Heck, you might even try someone else's sandwich and be like, damn, that's good. I might tweak mine next time. And for anyone taking notes, my go-to is a whole meal foot-long chicken teriyaki sub, toasted with mozzarella, all veggies, including jalapenos, pickles, and olives, with a single line of hot chili, honey mustard, and Thousand Island, pepper only, and you can thank me later. So in the same way, all of our opinions are formed through personal experiences, education, cultures, influence, personality, and I could go on. And all of them form these layers of your opinion sandwich. And today we've all walked into this sandwich bar of a conference with preconceived diverse experiences, upbringing, and no doubt a wealth of knowledge and opinions. And the good news is that today you have the opportunity to take in and reshape what your product sandwich will look like by the end of the day. The speakers today aren't necessarily the most experienced in the room, don't have the fanciest of titles, and have overcome countless hurdles throughout their career. But through talking with each and everyone before today, I know they're all people with a love and a passion for what they do and the industry, and are so excited to serve you slices of their insights, experience, knowledge, and ultimately, their opinions. Each of their sandwiches are different. And you being here does not mean you have to sit there and nod yes, like a robot, as if you agree with everything. Trust me, it's okay if you don't, we won't hunt you down. You have the freedom to pick and choose what makes up your own opinion. We're human. Can you imagine if we all thought the same thing all the time? And this is the food for thought I wanted to leave you with all this morning as we embark. Because at the end of the day, we all have a collective responsibility to go out and share our opinions and sandwiches with our peers, workplace, and the industry without fear and with passion. Because that's the only way the future of product will evolve. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your Outlook meal. Now, just before I introduce our first speaker of the day, a bit of housekeeping. You're more than welcome to join sessions happening next door as part of the design track. However, please note that priority will go to those with a respective product or design Outlook ticket, so seating is subject to availability. We also kindly request, out of respect for the presenters here and those around you, that you only move between session blocks and not between or during speakers. One block could have 2 to 3 speakers, so choose the blocks, not the presenters. And don't worry if you miss a keynote, every speaker today will be recorded and this will be made available for everyone to watch. Meaning you could play this back and listen to my beautiful voice and fall asleep. And if you get lost or want to know what's happening, just find one of our lovely volunteers with an Outlook shirt and they'll be able to help you out. Finally, in the spirit of sandwiches and product, let's get rolling. In the lead up today, I asked all the presenters their perfect sandwich, their one must-have ingredient, and what they think the future of product must have to thrive. So, rest assured, at the very least, you'll know what makes them hungry. Our first presenter to kick this day off has flown in all the way from San Fran, stopping along France and New Zealand on the way over the last week. I don't know how she stays awake. Her perfect sandwich would look like a sushi roll, with her one must-have being that it's made with love. She thinks the future of product needs people to go to art school, learn a craft, and have the audacity to try new things. Please join me in giving a huge warm welcome to Georgia Rust.